exquisite.
Oh shit, we back again. What's up, what's happening? Come to the party and bring a friend. Fuck it, I'm bringing 10. Ooh, tryna chat a 10. Big boy tryna chat a 10. She said I was catchy. I said, yo, tap him in.
Touchdown!
Double cup, wow, I stuck smile when I puff loud. I touch clouds, catching touchdowns in my mind now, cause I'm zoned out. On a porch couch in the side cloud. 2 coughs and I'm back now. 2 coughs and I'm packed out. Somebody give me a drink before I gotta sit down. I'm making hits now with a smooth style.
What's up, everybody? It is the Trash Talk Tailgate back once again. I am your host, Dr. Preston Rowe, defensive backs quality control coach, and I am joined not by Riley today, but by another special guest, Mr. Jack Lee. What's going on, Jack Lee?
What's up? What's up? Glad to be here again for week 2. I wasn't quite right on everything last week, so I decided to give it another shot.
Let's go. Nah, Jack Lee, you did a really great job last week. All right, so first of all, this is our college football and some NFL prediction stream here on Friday night. We appreciate everyone that is joining us and that will join us. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. We really, really appreciate that. But first of all, Jack Lee, you've got to get down to business. We've got a top 10 matchup in the Big 12. It's the first top 10 Big 12 matchup since 2021 in the Big 12 championship. 4 years. That's fucking crazy. We've got number 7 BYU at number 8 Texas Tech. Ooh, this is a banger, Jack Lee. I'll let you go ahead and go.
Well, as we all know, the ACC is not a power conference because the Big 12 has stepped up this year. They have a bunch of money. Texas Tech has that oil money. BYU has that Mormon money.
Yes.
So I don't know where this goes, but both teams have 8 wins. Texas Tech has 1 loss. But to only have 1 loss right now in the Big 12 is impressive.
It's very impressive.
The Big 12 is such a toss-up. I don't know where to go with this one. I feel like BYU hasn't really played anybody.
They beat Utah, to be fair.
They did beat Utah, but
Utah has dudes up front. Like
so did Texas Tech. Texas Tech crushed Utah. It wasn't even a contest. So I don't know. I think I'm going to take Texas Tech. Texas Tech has come out good this year, and I think it'll be a close game. And from the looks of Texas Tech's offense, I think it'll be an over game. I think they'll cover the spread.
So this is a really historic game in Texas Tech history. It's the first time College Game Day has been to Lubbock since 2008. It was that famous or infamous, if you're a Texas fan, Michael Crabtree last-second touchdown game where they beat the number 1 ranked Texas Longhorns in Lubbock. First time Game Day's been back since then. And if you're Texas Tech, I think this comes down to one thing. Can BYU block you up front? Like Texas Tech, we've talked about it all the time, Jack Lee. I know you've heard us talk about it a little bit. Texas Tech has went all in on this new NIL landscape and the transfer portal landscape where they are just paying money to get legit NFL dudes, especially up front on both lines of scrimmage, in a conference that really, since Texas and Oklahoma left, just doesn't have those players at the clip that, it used to. Like Texas and Oklahoma, they were typically the teams that had those guys up front, those NFL players. And now Texas Tech has them. And David Bailey has 11.5 sacks. Their linebacker / defensive end number 31 transferred in from Stanford. Fucking absolute monster coming off the edge. And then you've also got a bunch of other players up front. Just just legit dudes. Jacob Rodriguez, their linebacker, and is another really good player. If you're BYU, can you block Texas Tech up front? And I think we're going to determine that pretty early on in the game, just because BYU, they're a good football team. They're going to kill you with the margins. Like, they are just going to keep a game close and then find a way to win. They're not going to turn the ball over. They're not going to beat themselves. They have a true freshman quarterback in Bear Bachmeier, who's played really, really well this year, doesn't turn the ball over a whole lot. And Kalani Sitake is a hell of a football coach, one of the best in the country. But it's really going to be, can BYU stand up against those Texas Tech elite level athletes, especially on – you can have all the great coaching you want in the world, but when you get punched in the mouth, how are you going to handle it? Can BYU hold up front? And honestly, man, I don't think they can. I'm going to take Texas Tech at home. Like, this is a massive, massive game. I think
Texas Tech. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be high scoring. Texas Tech's going to come out strong, and we'll see how BYU handles it. It's going to be a good game. It's probably one of our top matchups of the week.
And then the other thing to keep in mind, Jack Lee, is so Texas Tech, one of the things, like, their offense has struggled recently. And I think in large part of that, it is because they've had, like, kind of a quarterback shakeup throughout the year. Like, they started with Baron Morton. He got hurt. And then Will Hammond comes in, and now he's out for the year with an injury. So now they're going back to Morton. So it's just been kind of a quarterback shakeup all year, and I think that's kind of led to some offensive struggles for the Red Raiders.
Wait. So Morton. So I'm just looking at the ESPN GameCast page. So Morton played less games than Bachmeier, and has. No, I guess they have one more game, but if he's played less games than Bachmeier, he still has more passing yards than Bachmeier. Yeah. And that's not the end-all be-all for a quarterback. Like, Tua Tagovailoa could have 300 passing yards, but 0 touchdowns. It happens. So, sure, that's not the end-all be-all, but he also has 4 more touchdowns and only 1 more interception. So, I think Morton's just a better quarterback. I haven't really watched him play. I don't really pay attention to Big 12 teams, as I've said before. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll be a good game, though. I don't think we can really say too much. I think it's something that's just going to be left out on the field.
I think another key point of this game is going to be, we talked about it already, Texas Tech's defensive front. Can they get home, and can they apply pressure to Bachmeier with 4? Because if you can create pressure with 4, that leaves 7 in your back end, and that makes it a lot harder for the quarterback to find open windows. And then on the flip side, BYU's blitz game, they love to blitz, and will Texas Tech be able to make them pay? Because one thing I've learned in coaching, I learned a long time ago, if you blitz, it's a big play for someone.
On that, like, again, looking at their season leaders, their top tackles, like their player with the most tackles on BYU's team is a safety. He is a safety player, and the most sacks of any player is a linebacker with 5.
Exactly.
On Texas Tech, you have a linebacker leading them in tackles.
David Bailey.
No, Rodriguez.
He's an edge rusher. Yeah.
Jacob Rodriguez is leading them in tackles, and Bailey is leading them in sacks. Yes. So right off the bat, your tackles and sacks are coming from your linebackers more than likely, but seeing the most tackles are coming from your safety has me worried. It has me worried that a running back's hitting your secondary more often than not. And So I think Texas Tech is going to be a lot stronger in the run game, or at least on the ground. And it looks like when they have to resort to the pass, when they have to air it out, I think they're going to be stronger there as well. I think Texas Tech might be a stronger team, but again, Preston, I think we're just going to have to wait and see.
No, I agree. I've got Texas Tech winning this game. all the momentum is on their side. I get it. BYU's undefeated, but they haven't really played that tough of a schedule. At Texas Tech, like if there's ever a team that has a legit chance, oh no, that is not Riley Puddin-Peters, Dinker. That is Jack Lee. He is a very good friend of the TTT. That is Mr. Lee. He looks like an alien right now, but we love him anyway.
Well, Preston, I think we spent about 10 minutes so far talking about BYU and Texas Tech. Why don't we just go down the list? What's happening tonight?
So we've got, let's see, we've got Northwestern at USC. Northwestern's probably going to make a bowl game, which is crazy. If you saw their season outlook early on in the year, it didn't look like they were probably going to make a bowl game. USC, look, he looks like he's AI. Oh, no, Jack Lee was on last week because Riley couldn't make it. Riley will be back on Sunday, though. We will have our normal streaming schedule back on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. We appreciate you, Dinker. The aliens took Riley this time. But so Jack Lee, if you watched USC Nebraska last week, USC, they went on the road and they got a win, but it was like the most deflating win you could probably have because Nebraska was going to win that game until Dylan Raiola, their starting quarterback, got hurt.
Yeah, I remember it being down to an injury. He got injured rather early. It's yeah.
I mean, everyone who watches the TCT, they know how I feel about Lincoln Riley. He's a bitch. I don't think he values the lines of scrimmage like you should. I don't think he values defense at all. And every time he plays a good team, it shows. Like a good defensive front, especially, it really shows. And just if you're USC, you're 6-2, but man, I'm not a believer. Going on the road to Lincoln, Nebraska is difficult, but you were going to lose that game, man, until Dylan Raiola got hurt and the football god said, okay, USC, you can have this one today. And Northwestern, they're just a tough football team. They're really tough, hard-nosed football.
The Big Ten's a tough conference, and I don't think USC is really that much stronger that it can just automatically go to them. I think I'm going to take Northwestern.
Look, man, you'd be hard pressed to get me to pick Lincoln Riley in a game for anything, but it's just, I do think USC, they do have better athletes. Jordan Maeva's playing really good football. Makai Lemon is an absolute stud. We've talked about him going back to the preseason, even before the season started, how much I love Makai Lemon. And I think I'm gonna take USC at home. They play better at home than they do on the road, especially in the Big Ten. I
think with the Big USC, Ten being coast to coast, I think that's a big deal. That's a 3-hour difference.
Yeah.
Maybe not for Northwestern. Maybe it's a 2-hour difference. I think they're in Indiana or Illinois or something. So I'm not really sure the time zones, but 2 or 3 hour difference. I just can't. I've seen USC throw away games before, and it's I can't really trust them to set one up like this.
It's like USC, they have better athletes than Northwestern. Could I see Northwestern winning? Absolutely. Lincoln Riley is definitely liable to drop a game like this. But it's just, I'm going to take the athletes in this one, even though I don't trust Lincoln Riley. Give me the athletes of USC to get it done. All right, Jack Lee. I don't think we've got to spend too much time on this game.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of these other next ones down the list, there's not a whole lot of time to really spend on them. We got Indiana, Penn State.
This should have been a huge game in the preseason. It just shows you how far Penn State has fallen. They fired James Franklin during the season. in October, which is crazy.
Well, ticket prices for this game are starting at $14, so that just tells you how much of a demand these tickets or seats are. Like, I think Beaver Stadium might sell out with that price. Like, it's a fire sale.
It is definitely a fire sale. Penn State, Drew Allers out for the year. Their starting quarterback. Nick Singleton.
Drew Aller being out for the year might actually help Penn State's chances. But Indiana looks really good. They're number 2 ranked in the country. There's no doubt that they're competing for a national championship this year. There aren't even enough games for them to get 3 losses. And if that's really the disqualifier is 3 losses, like it was last year. But I mean, Indiana, they look solid. They look solid all around. Of course, in the preseason, this would have been a huge game, but and it's towards the end of their season. But Illinois, they're not playing anybody who really will give them a challenge. So or Indiana, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Indiana is not playing anybody the rest of the season that will give them a challenge. And they took down Illinois, number 9th ranked team right now, 63-10. We don't have to spend any more time on this. It's a clear-cut Indiana win. No one's going to that game.
No. Indiana's going to win that game.
The loudest cheers will come from the training staff.
I think Georgia, Mississippi State, I think it's interesting. Mississippi State, they played really hard this year. They should have beat Texas. They did beat Arizona State, who was a top 25 team at the time. Like, Mississippi State, they've played really, like, they've just come up short in some of these games. They almost beat Tennessee. They almost beat Florida. And they almost beat Texas. Like, those are 3 quality, brands at least. You
definitely have to respect the chances Mississippi State has. Georgia did kind of wobble a little bit against Florida last week, and as interesting as that was to watch, it was. Let's check the scores again. Are they actually going to do it? Are they actually going to put Florida away? And they never put Florida away. Florida stayed in that game to the last snap. It was not the game that Georgia wanted. And Kirby Smart's a good coach, and he knows how to punish his players. You talk about discipline. Those players aren't disciplined, but they've been punished, and they'll remember the punishment. So I think Georgia will try to come out strong, and it might force some mistakes, or we could see them just pile on the score. And that's probably a little bit more likely.
And then the other thing is this Georgia team, like, they had a dogfight with Florida. They probably should have lost to Ole Miss. They weren't great against Auburn. Like, they played really bad in that first half against Auburn.
Shout out to that Auburn game.
Don't look like the same Georgia team.
That Auburn game was not a win for Georgia until right before the second half, until the end of the first half, when the refs just decided, wait, we got money on this game for Georgia. Like, they finally woke up and said, Auburn can't win this, and gave Auburn like 2 or 3 times as many penalties. It was ridiculous. And you could say, well, Auburn was committing those penalties, but I'm sure Georgia was committing some penalties too. I don't think that team, who constantly have players getting pulled over or chased for reckless driving, or even worse, like killing people through driving, like a simple thing. I don't think a team like that really has the discipline. And so that Auburn game was ugly. This Georgia team has not looked like the Georgia Bulldogs typically do.
I I agree with you, Jack Lee. Like, this has not been the same Georgia team that we've been accustomed to seeing under Kirby Smart. They don't have a pass rush. Like, all of those great pass rushers that they've had are now in the NFL. We're just accustomed to seeing them reload every single year, but they don't have them this year. And like any great defensive coach will tell you, it's really hard to play defense if you can't affect the quarterback. It's really, really hard to play defense. I don't care how good your back end is and your secondary is. It's hard to play great defense if you can't affect the quarterback.
You always got to put a time limit on that pocket.
Get to the quarterback all year. Dog, they should have got a few times. Like, you have to give them credit for finding ways to win, but Florida should have got them. Ole Miss definitely should have got them. Ole Miss blew that game. It's just, if you're Mississippi State, like, you're at home, there's going to be all the cowbell. There's going to be all the cowbell. They're going to be screaming more cowbell. I could see Mississippi State pulling off this upset because I just don't think this Georgia team is that dominant that we're used to seeing.
I would agree. With that said, this is Georgia. I'm going to take Georgia over Mississippi State. Mississippi State, I don't know. Something about Georgia, like I think Kirby Smart's just a little bit more seasoned.
Gets it. Always more cowbell. I'm gonna take the upset, man. As much as I love Kirby Smart, I think Mississippi State, they've lost some heartbreakers. Georgia has absolutely won some classics. Like I think it flips. Yeah, I think Mississippi State gets a huge win at home to get to bowl eligibility. I think that's huge for them.
All right, yeah. 2-score upset. You heard it here first. Well, talking about upsets, I don't think we'll have to spend much time on this one, Preston. Ohio State at Purdue.
Ohio State, you could argue Indiana, but I think Ohio State is the best team in the country. And I've been thinking about this. You think about what Ohio State lost going back to last year's national championship team and the gauntlet that they had to run through to win the national championship. They went Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame. That was the college football playoff gauntlet that they had to run. And they dominated all of those games. And then you lose all that talent. You lose your offensive line. You lose your defensive line. Tyleik Williams, Jack Sawyer. You lose Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. And you lose your starting quarterback, Will Howard. And you come back and all you do is you look like a better team this year. Like, if they look like the national champion right now, to me, I think Indiana will have something to say about that. But right now, I don't know how you can't pick Ohio State to just dominate because they are playing better defense than they were last year. With Matt Patricia as their defensive coordinator, they've got the two best players in the country, in my opinion, in Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs. And they just suffocate you. And to me, if they were to go back-to-back, run this table, and win the national championship, it would be the most impressive accomplishment in college football history. With the 12-team playoff going back-to-back and all of that, like everything that entails, that would be the most impressive accomplishment in college football history. And that's what they're chasing. That's what they're trying to do. I mean, Ohio State, it's not.
They're a good team. This week, there's not a lot on show from them. They're going to run the table with Purdue. I think their biggest game coming up is going to be against Michigan in a few weeks. But these are just some dummy games right now as the Big Ten is kind of top loaded.
Dinker, that's a great question. It's just, if you're talking about just this year, no. But if you're talking about like for the team, I mean, you've got Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sayin, I think could be a first-round draft pick. Their skill guys, you've got Carnell Tate. just Caleb Downs, fucking they've Arvell Reese, their stud linebacker who's playing himself into a first round draft pick. Like they've got dudes everywhere. Arvell Reese is a stud. I mean, if you watch Ohio State, he just flashes, and all he does is make plays. And then you've got Caleb Downs just holding it down back there in the secondary, and they've got dudes everywhere. I don't know if they'll break Miami's record. I don't know if anyone could do that in today's modern college football, just because the talent is becoming so spread out with the transfer portal and NIL. But they've certainly got a lot of first round picks on that roster. I will say that.
So moving on.
Yep.
Next on our list, Ole Miss plays at home. They bring in the Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's really anything to be said about this one. The Citadel is being paid a lot of money to travel to Oxford and to give some practice for Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
It is not really much to say. The Citadel is just not the same as an SEC school, and I'm sure that they'll have a lot of fun out in the field, and it will be a good time. They might even share some hot dogs and hamburgers afterwards.
Take the check, take the loss.
They might have a joint coaches conference where they might do something. Citadel took the check. They're taking the loss.
Take the check, take the loss. Jack Lee, this is just the annual SEC FCS November matchup. They all do it. Every SEC team plays a fucking FCS team in November. It's ridiculous.
It's not even. I'm not questioning it. Citadel takes money from schools like Notre Dame and goes and plays basketball against them every year. It's just a way of doing business and keeping their sports growing and alive. So I think Ole Miss will more than likely, unless someone gets struck by lightning, go to 9-1. Citadel will fall to 4-6.
All right.
So next on the list, I'll let you lead this one off because I think this is going to be one of the games of the week, and I think you already know my pick on this.
So we've got Texas A&M going to Columbia to play number 22 ranked Missouri, and I love Eli Drinkwitz, but I love Mike Elko as well. And this A&M team, I get it. If you're a Texas A&M fan, this November is going to scare the shit out of you because historically you always find a way to lose 4 games. Like the jokes write themselves. Like they are a meme at this point, and for good reason. Texas 8-4. That's what they are. So if you're an A&M fan, games like this are going to scare the shit out of you. But I think this team is different. I think Elko has changed the culture entirely. You've got Cassius Howell coming off the edge to make, Bo Pribula, he's out, it's Missouri. This was going to be a really promising season for them, but Bo Pribula being hurt, their starting quarterback, he's done for the year. That's just an injury that takes the wind out of your sails. Cassius Howell is going to fucking feast, and Marcel Reed is playing out of his fucking mind. Marcel Reed went into Death Valley in LSU and got Brian Kelly fired, along with Torian York.
Mario Craver. Mario Craver.
Concepcion,
Casey Concepcion, even as a return man, like Casey Concepcion. Didn't he get a return punt or a return kickoff this past week against LSU? Am I remembering things right, or was that 2 weeks ago? I think it was a punt.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
but anyway, that you have to be incredibly fast to get something like that, and I think Texas A&M has the squad to do it. And what really strikes me is, as much as I like seeing Torian York, I like having drafted him to my Madden franchise. He's not even the one they're talking about in terms of like their linebackers. He's leading them in tackles, sure, but that's not who like all the other analysts are talking about when we're talking about Texas A&M. Hold on while I go to their roster and I actually point that out. Like they're talking about who are they talking about?
Yeah,
linebackers. It's they're talking about another linebacker that wasn't Torian York.
Is it Cassius Howell? He's an edge rusher.
I don't think it was Cassius Howell. Let me go to the game stats for LSU. I'll go to the box score. Defense. I think it was maybe it's Dalton Brooks. They were talking a lot. Was it Marco Jones? No, he's a defensive end. They were talking about someone as a like a. I think it was either it might have been Dalton Brooks. They're talking more about the like deep secondary, like the defensive backs, and how they're stepping up. Torian York, he only had 4 tackles, but Dalton Brooks had 6. Like when you have a safety who's a lockdown safety, like your team's gonna go pretty far. Like that's not even like putting any fault up onto the like fronts, the trenches. They dominated the trenches on LSU and they won football games.
A&M, they're a complete team. They're a very complete team. They're one of the most complete teams in the country. You've got Marcel Reed, who's improving as a passer every week. Plus, he's got the athletic ability to kill you with his legs. They've got a 2-headed backfield monster with Moss and shit. I can't think of the other kid's name.
Maybe they're talking about Damian Sanford.
With Moss and Reuben Owens, Le'Veon Moss and Reuben Owens. You've got Concepcion and Craver. You've got Cassius Howell. Torian York is your linebacker. And then you've got a really good secondary. They're a complete football team that just knows how to win. They find ways to win. So give me A&M in this game. I think Missouri's season is – unfortunately, I think their season's done. Like, it's hard to win with your backup quarterback for the rest of the year.
It's hard to win with a backup quarterback mentality for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to take Texas A&M. I really like seeing that squad. I like Mike Elko. It's nice to see him travel to Death Valley and win. I think they can look up. I think they can at least get to 11 wins.
So, Jagley, I think, it's a top 20 matchup. I think a lot of people are just going to kind of gloss over this because of who it is. But this to me is one of the games of the week. You got Oregon going to Iowa City to play number 20 Iowa. And Oregon, their one loss is to Indiana. They lost by 10 at home to Indiana. Iowa, they played Indiana the toughest. Like, Iowa has played Indiana the toughest out of anyone this season. And the weather apparently is going to be nasty. Could potentially be snowing. It's definitely going to be raining. It's going to be a weather game. This just kind of feels like the game that Iowa just makes you slug it out in a nasty, low-scoring game and makes you fucking play it. This is their kind of game. They've got a great offensive line, one of the best offensive lines in football. And they've got a dual-threat quarterback. Yeah, he's not going to kill you with his arm, but he's going to just keep this offense on schedule. He's going to get key third down conversions, like on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 with his legs. And their defense is going to make quarterback Dante Moore be patient. They're going to take away his first intermediate reads, crossing routes, glance routes, slants, stuff like that. They're going to take it away. They're just going to sit in zone, and they're going to make Dante Moore be patient. and make all the right decisions.
Well, we're also talking about, you mentioned the weather, and I think weather actually plays a lot of a role in a football game.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a high of 44 and 100% chance of rain. It is going to rain. That's not like a 10%, like it might rain. It's going to rain. Like we're going to have Ollie Williams giving you the weather. It's going to rain.
Yeah.
And at that point, with all that rain, your air game, like your passing game doesn't matter so much. It's hard to see.
They're gonna run
you
the
got
ball.
water in your eyes if they're gonna run the ball. And both teams' running game this season has been very similar. They like Oregon they haven't shown a good ground game.
Their offense the last 3 weeks has really struggled. Like their offense is one of the worst in the country the last few weeks. Their defense is elite. They've got all these great athletes, especially up front. Amari Washington, Bear Alexander. But I don't know how good their pass rush is. And I don't know if that'll really matter in this game. But you're going to have to go toe-to-toe with a great offensive line. And Iowa, they're going to play their game, dog, and they're going to force you to play it. And the weather, I think, is going to force Oregon to also have to try to play that game. If you can take away DeCorian Moore, who's a true freshman, elite wide receiver for the Ducks, he's really been their most consistent receiver. If you can take him away, I think Iowa's going to have a great chance to win this game. They're just going to try to slug it out.
I think Iowa has a great chance to win the game, especially considering the weather. Just a quick look at like the Big Ten's like top pass rushers, right?
Yeah.
Like most ranked by sacks, total sacks. Yes. In the top 10, there's Max Llewellyn, or Llewellyn, however you pronounce that. I'm sorry, Max, if I'm butchering that. In the top 15, you have 2 Iowa players and 1 Oregon player tied for 15th. You have Ethan Herkett, Aaron Graves for Iowa, and Mateo
Uyungale
for Oregon. And like that's you already have 3 players ranked above the top Oregon pass rusher. And that's just guys who can dominate the trenches. Those are guys who come to the line and say, "I'm going to beat you."
Yeah.
And so when it comes to stopping the run, as these games will come to, especially under the weather, I think Iowa will say, we don't have to have much of an offense if we just kill you on defense. I want to say Iowa. Oregon's already shown the world that they can bleed. They've already shown the nation they can bleed. They already have a loss.
Now, granted, it's to one of the 2 best teams in the country, but look, man, I think we all kind of hype up this Oregon team because of how well they recruit and all these great athletes they have. But it's like, you won the Big Ten last year, then you got smoked by an elite Ohio State team in the playoff. Like, what do you really have to show for it? It's like, yeah, you've got great dudes up front, but like you said, to your point, Jack Lee, they don't have an elite level pass rush. And I think Gronowski, like, if Oregon's going to have a chance, their defense is going to have to really step up and force Gronowski to be uncomfortable. They're going to have to keep him in the pocket. They're going to have to, force him to not beat them with his legs. It's like, look, man, it's demoralizing. Like, I know this as a defensive coach. It's demoralizing if you hold a team to like a 3rd and 5, and then you have the perfect coverage called for it, but the quarterback is able to get out the pocket and get the first down with his legs. Like, it's fucking demoralizing because you're like, we just can't, there's nothing we can do. Like, we have to dedicate a spy to the quarterback, but then you leave other things open when you do that. I like Iowa to win this game, man. I think this is the quintessential Iowa football game. They're going to make Oregon's life hell. It's going to be miserable in Iowa City, and they're going to force them to play their game.
In their state, in their weather. I want to take Iowa too. I think I'm gonna say Iowa. Moving on, another 3:30 game, Miami home against Syracuse, hosting Syracuse, the Big Orange. It's going to be a lot of orange in Hard Rock Stadium.
This Miami team, they had a great chance. Like, they just, every time you think you can start to trust them, they blow it. Like, they beat Notre Dame. They had a great win in the opening week against Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame might make the playoff this year. I'm not sure about that, but they might. And then they were starting to roll. They were starting to get hot. And then they lose to Louisville because Carson Beck throws 4 interceptions. And it should have been 5, but Louisville dropped 1.
I mean, one of them was the most brain rot air ball that I think I've ever seen. I think it was into triple coverage.
And then
it's like running. It was like a deep ball into like a cover 4 or cover 2 or something. Like, there were 3 defensive players around the one receiver by the time the ball got to him. It might have been 4. That's how bad of a decision he makes sometimes. So,
but then, Jack Lee, you bounce back, you beat Stanford 42-7. Then you go on the road to a good SMU team, but a team that just lost to Wake Forest the week before, and you lose 26-20 because Mario Cristobal is inevitable. Mario Cristobal still cannot manage a game for shit. And, like, it's just, as soon as you start to trust this Miami team, they always let you down.
Well, you can
always let you down.
You can get into Hard Rock
Stadium. They are the Justin Herbert of college football.
Whole $6 you can get into Hard Rock Stadium. So, I mean, they might pay more in toilet paper for your visit than they're getting out of you. So, good thing the bathroom's free. Because Miami, what used to be one of the top teams in the country, just this past season, how they've fallen to get two losses that quick. It happens.
Exactly, whenever they lose, they always beat themselves.
I mean,
they always beat themselves. They've got the best offensive line of football. They've got one of the best D lines of football. They've got NFL talent everywhere because Mario is going to recruit like a motherfucker and raise up all that talent. But then you have to drop them a little bit because they never play up to their full potential. Mario is a bad in-game coach.
Now hold on, because we're talking about Miami versus Syracuse.
Yes.
Syracuse is a team that's coming off of a home loss to North Carolina. Give me Miami, man. I don't care how bad Miami is. You can't be worse than Syracuse right now.
I mean, I agree. I'm going to take Miami, but I'm done trusting them for anything huge.
I don't think
Syracuse.
It's not a significant win. Miami probably shouldn't be ranked.
No, they shouldn't.
I'm not a big fan of Carson Beck. I wasn't a fan of him at Georgia. I'm not a fan of him at Miami.
I agree.
So,
now we've got just a few more games. Auburn just fired Hugh Freeze this past Sunday. They go on the road to Vandy in Nashville. Vandy 7-2. Auburn fighting. They probably won't make a bowl game.
Yeah. Give me Vandy. Give me Pavia.
Diego Pavia.
Vandy's at home. They're not even going to think about taking the goalpost to the river. This is just an easy clap.
Washington at Wisconsin. There's not a whole lot to talk about football wise, but Wisconsin did make some news earlier this week when they announced that they are keeping their hot seat coach Luke Fickell through next year. They're not going to fire him midseason. They're not going to fire him at the end of this year. They are going to keep him. And I think that's just, if you don't have the money to pay the buyout and to hire a new staff, I get it. But this is a move that could be hugely detrimental to Wisconsin in the long run.
I don't think it's that bad. I think what the move was is keep him, but invest more in your staff and recruiting. And so I don't think that goes poorly for your program in the long run, to have someone who have more people who know how to recruit, maybe have more scouts, like more high school scouts, and know like what's going on. I think money there buys and solves a lot of problems. It's an investment into the program. It's not like they're just going to pay him more. He might make a little bit more, but it is an investment into the program.
Dinker, I agree, but I will push back on this. When Wisconsin hired Luke Fickell, his first move, and I said it was a horrible, dumbass mistake to do at the time. I said this on the TTT. I mean, I've got something for that too, Dinker. Just give me a second. But Luke Fickell decided, hey, I'm at Wisconsin, the land of all the best running backs in football, the land of fucking bubs and cheeseheads. We are like Wisconsin became a dominant Midwest power under Barry Alvarez and Brett Bielema even, because they ran the ball, they played great defense, they had great offensive line play, and they just had a quarterback that wouldn't kill them and didn't turn the ball over. Luke Fickell said, fuck that. We're going to run the air raid. Wisconsin never had skilled players like that. Wisconsin never had the players to effectively run the air raid. Why the fuck would you completely change Wisconsin's identity just overnight and think that would be a success? That's insane. And to your point, Dinker, I think now, like, you know, obviously hindsight is 2020, but I think now we can say that Cincinnati run that he had was more about his staff there at Cincinnati. Marcus Freeman took a lot of that staff with him to Notre Dame, and they have been crushing it. And I think I think Luke Fickell is a good coach, but I think a lot of that success has to be given to his staff at this point. Like that Cincinnati staff that's now mostly at Notre Dame, they're crushing it. And Luke Fickell is obviously just struggling like a motherfucker. So that would be my pushback on that. But if you're Wisconsin, I don't agree with that move. I think that's a hugely detrimental move to that program. And it's sad because Wisconsin, college football is better when Wisconsin is really good. That's how I feel.
I'm going to take Washington.
I'm also going to take Washington.
It's an easy pick, Washington.
Yeah,
they're a little bit better this year. They have the inverse record of Wisconsin, and they only have 2 losses on the Big Ten, while Wisconsin has 5. Wisconsin's been blown out by pretty much every Big Ten team they've played. It's been bad. So
yeah,
moving on.
Dinker, I appreciate you. Look at Dinker. Dinker, that's why you watch the TTT. We tell you things you just didn't know. Yeah.
Back to the ACC. We got 2 ranked matchups in the ACC this week. Two relatively similar strength teams. They took each other to double overtime. We'll start off with the number 1 team in the ACC, a team that did lose to NC State, but somehow magically scheduled them out of conference. And
it's
so
fucking bullshit,
didn't hurt them.
It's bullshit.
I agree. It was a shock to see. That's how the ACC agreed for that to work out, because that's not how that should work out. But Virginia is 5-0 in the ACC. Good job, Virginia. Good job, Cavaliers.
Fuck you, I fucking hate you.
They stay at home. They stay in Charlottesville, and they host Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a team that can upset, but this Virginia team does look strong.
Beat SMU 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but SMU's they're kind of in a rebuild. They're not what they were last year for sure. That team was carried by a bunch of seniors. SMU, they haven't looked super strong. Wake Forest, I think, would be in a similar boat. They're not the strongest team in the ACC. I think Virginia needs to come out and play good football. But with that said, I think UVA will take this one.
I will never, as a Virginia Tech fan, people ask me why I hate UVA. I'm a diehard Virginia Tech fan. I'm a Virginia Tech fan to my soul, to my core. I bleed maroon and orange. Like, never coached there. I would love to coach there, but despite everywhere I've coached, I'm still a Virginia Tech fan. And I hate UVA. You'll never catch me saying anything nice about UVA. This football program, as a Virginia Tech fan, it disgusts me to my core to see 14th ranked Virginia like as an actual reality. I hate that. I also hate that their one ACC loss doesn't fucking count for them, like for some reason. It's ridiculous, but this UVA team, they've gotten lucky. They're a good team. Like they make the plays when they need to, but I also feel like they've gotten really, really lucky. They had 2 defensive scores against Louisville to win that game. And look, man, that's not going to happen often. Like, yeah, you have to give them credit for scoring those touchdowns. But I'm giving Wake Forest, man. Like, it would be the most ACC thing for just all these, quote unquote contenders to fall flat on their face at some point before the season's over. Give me Wake Forest to upset UVA. It's just how I feel. All right.
Give me UVA. You're gonna say, or you're saying like, why do you hate UVA so much as a Virginia Tech fan? I could have just answered that for you. Every UVA grad is a prick.
Yes,
they'll agree with you. I'm not even being a hater. My grandfather went to UVA. He was on the lawn. Was my grandfather a prick? He certainly was. Did damn well in business though. So give me UVA. That's UVA looks really good. It'll be interesting to see if they somehow manage to only stay with 1 loss as they play Virginia Tech later this year, because we all know that they shake a little bit when they do. Another 7 p.m. ACC game. This one's on ESPN2, not ESPN. You got Louisville hosting California.
Wow. This is an ACC matchup, Jack Lee. Isn't that cool? I love conference realignment. It's the coolest thing ever. Cal shouldn't be in the Pac-12. No, fuck that. Cal belongs in the All-Coast Conference.
Louisville's not even a coast, so I don't understand how they're in the ACC. But Louisville's tucked in to Kentucky. Louisville's not like, oh, we're on the eastern edge, like we're touching West Virginia. No, Louisville is we're touching the other side of the state, and it's crammed in there. The roads are nice though, so California won't have any trouble getting to the airport after Louisville like absolutely shows their heart. I think this Louisville team is very good. I think they've had some unfortunate losses, but they took down like a highly ranked Miami team, and I would expect Louisville to come out on top.
Tinker, to your point, I agree. Like, I think Louisville's just a better team. Cal does have the better quarterback. Like Cal, I just call him JKS because those are his initials. But he's a true freshman out of Hawaii. He's absolutely legit. Like Cal, it sucks for Cal because some bigger school is going to pay a lot of money to have him transfer out of there next year because he is legit. And he is the only reason that they have been in so many of these games and that they've won 5 games. He just took Virginia Tech to overtime.
Double overtime. Double overtime.
Yeah, double overtime.
But they did lose. They lost to Duke this year. So
Duke's legit. Manny Diaz is a good coach.
And they lost to UVA. So if we're saying UVA and Louisville are about even, I would expect them to lose to Louisville after they just played UVA. I think it's an unfortunate schedule.
I mean, Louisville, Miller Moss, like Jet Brom is a hell of a coach. He's going to scheme some things up against this Cal defense. They're going to try to run the ball with Isaac Brown. Cal has a great quarterback, but everywhere else, Louisville is just better. So give me Louisville to win at home. And it sucks for Cal. He absolutely is, Dinker. He's going to get paid somewhere, probably an SEC school like Auburn. Like maybe Lane Kiffin gets him at Ole Miss next year. Like that'd be fucking crazy. I don't think he's going to stay at Cal, unfortunately. It sucks for them, but give me Louisville to win at home.
All right. So moving on. Second to last game.
This should be a banger, but it's not.
LSU traveling to Tuscaloosa to Bryant-Denny Stadium and taking on the Crimson Tide.
Ty Simpson has thrown 20 touchdowns, only 1 interception. He's a Heisman front runner. Like, he's playing out of his fucking mind. They've got Jeremy Bernard. They've got Ryan Williams. Their defense has played really, really well. This game should be great. This game is always typically great.
Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier, it should never have even been a favorite for the Heisman. Garrett Nussmeier couldn't lead LSU last year to the college football playoffs. Alabama, I thought their season would be disappointing, but they took the one loss from Florida State and said, not again. They've come off that and they've rebounded. LSU, if they had a coach right now, then maybe I would consider them to do something. But they're a 3-loss team in the SEC, and they're not doing anything with their season. So give me Alabama. I'm not the biggest Alabama fan. I think they're raw and they're dirty. But give me Alabama.
LSU, man, like, if you haven't watched our short about Brian Kelly getting fired, you should absolutely go watch that short, because me and Riley lay all of this out in that short. But Brian Kelly's issue was he always had an elite level offense. He had a Heisman Trophy winner in Jaden Daniels and a great offensive line led by Will Campbell. They had Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. They had elite offensive skill players everywhere. And they could never get the defense right. The defense was always terrible. The defense constantly cost them games, and they kept on coming up short in a lot of those big-time conference matchups. And they were never able to reach their full potential. And then they lose all that offensive line talent, and they finally get the defense right, but their offense is shit. And they can't protect Nuss. They can't run the ball last year. They couldn't do it this year. Or like they can't they can't do anything right offensively. And Alabama, they're a complete football team. They can run, they struggle to run the ball. I'd like them to run the ball a little bit better, but their passing attack is so elite under Kalen DeBoer that it's not going to bite them in most games that they play. Like, their defense, they've got one of the best secondaries in the country. Their defense is elite. And it's just, yeah, man. To Dinker's point, I don't know if LSU would be better without Kelly. I just never thought it was a great cultural fit. But to Dinker's point, we do need to talk about Tulane and Memphis. Like, Tulane and Memphis is a top 40 matchup, and, it's a huge conference game in the American Athletic Conference in the AAC. Give me 1 second. It's at Memphis. John Summerall, the Tulane coach, there's been a lot of distractions because he's been linked to a lot of these SEC open coaching jobs, like Auburn, Florida potentially. I think that's a lot of distractions for John Summerall. And plus, I know Ryan Silverfield personally. He helped me get into coaching. I love Ryan Silverfield. Give me Memphis at home. Give me Memphis.
Yeah, give me Memphis too. They did beat South Florida. They kind of dethroned South Florida. South Florida was having a great season. Still are having a great season. Their only loss is to Memphis, and they lost by a field goal. So, that's that. Memphis. Give me Memphis over Tulane. I don't think Tulane's had the greatest season. They're 6-2, but you know what school in the American Conference has a better season so far? Navy is actually showing up, and Navy. This is the game I wanted to talk about.
I know.
I know you could guess. Navy has Annapolis's coming of Jesus and Blake Horvath. Blake Horvath, great quarterback. Navy's been sensational. My sister and brother-in-law go to all the home games. And then, I mean, after they win, which how exciting is it that they're winning basically every one? Like they get to walk down with other people downtown, and it's a pretty decent walk to get downtown from the stadium and then hit up the bars. So Navy having a sensational season is going to be a fun team to watch against Notre Dame, and they're traveling to Notre Dame. I don't know if Notre Dame's even paying that much money to play Navy. If they are, they might regret it. Yeah, it's tough to play in Notre Dame Stadium, Fighting Irish. A beautiful stadium. Probably one of the top 10 stadiums in college football, just in terms of its history and how iconic it is. It doesn't house that many people, but it's just a beautiful stadium. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about Notre Dame. I think Navy might show up. I think Navy has a serious chance. When we're looking at coaches polls, Navy's receiving votes, and they're like second in the list receiving votes because no one wants to rank a military academy that high. Mm-hmm. It's every year the highest Navy and Army get ranked is like 24th, 25th.
Yeah.
Even if they're that good. So give me Navy. I know it's a long shot. Notre Dame Navy is the underdog, but give me Navy.
You're going to take Navy. I will say this for Navy: they have given Notre Dame's problems in the past. Obviously they are a triple option team. You have to be very disciplined to go up and try to stop that offense. But if you're disciplined, it's not that hard. They will cause Notre Dame some problems. Notre Dame, I just expect them to bully Navy up front. Like they've got NFL dudes on the lines of scrimmage. That's what football ultimately always comes down to. Can you win the line of scrimmage first and foremost? And if you can, you have a much better shot to win the game. Obviously, turnovers and third downs and all of that stuff, that's important too. But first and foremost, can you win the line of scrimmage? So give me Notre Dame. They've just got bigger, better dudes up front. Give me Notre Dame to win this game. I wouldn't be shocked if it was close, but yeah. I don't know. Like, give me Notre Dame. I'm a huge Marcus Freeman guy. Give me Notre Dame. Jack Lee, I think that's it.
I think that's it. Do you want to talk about any like honorable mentions? And don't talk badly about Navy's offensive line. One of my best friends in high school played for my club team. I was a goalie. He was a defenseman. They do not weigh only 265. Let me tell you that. They have to put on a little bit more weight. He played center at Navy. He might have weighed 265 during lacrosse season, but I know during football season he had to put on some pounds. So you can't just say Navy's O-line only weighs 265.
I will
still get emotional like a female. That's a good one, Danker. I'm not getting emotional. I just know for a fact that he was over 265 when he played center.
That's fucking hilarious, Dinker. So. Jack Lee, I do want to say one more thing. There's been a lot of speculation about the coaching searches and all these openings and all these vacancies. I'm going to speak from my heart right now. Virginia Tech, if you do not go all in to go hire James Franklin, you are going to relegate yourselves to a group of 5 program, which is very fucking sad. This is a program that has played and competed for national championships and played and competed at the highest level of college football for, 2 decades under Frank Beamer. And if you don't go all in on James Franklin, Penn State absolutely fucked up in firing James Franklin. All he did was win 10 or 11 games a year. And that's all he's going to do is win 10 or 11 games a year. If you are Virginia Tech and you do not go all in on James Franklin, you're going to relegate yourselves to a group of 5 school. And
I think if Virginia Tech waits too long, or if they even like wobble a little bit, they might end up with a Dabo Sweeney with how Clemson season's gone. I agree. Like they're gonna get some second tier coach. Virginia Tech's a program that's been traditionally strong in the past. Of course, with the college football playoffs not favoring ACC schools, that's probably giving James Franklin some hesitancy. But Virginia Tech is historically a team who can do that, who can win despite that, and we might have to wait a few weeks to find out. It might have to wait until the Virginia Tech UVA game to see like how these players even look against a team ranked so high. Like is there some talent there? Under, like maybe not starters, maybe not seniors, but like juniors, people that can develop, because I'm sure a lot of that talent will want to stay with James Franklin, and see where that goes.
Well, Jack Lee, to your point and to Dinker's point as well, like I am hearing, I try to be as locked in as I can on this Virginia Tech coaching search. Like I do hear things, and one of the things that I've been hearing, obviously it's all rumors and speculation. He absolutely is Dinker, and that's why like I don't trust us to get it done, because it's to your point, like why hasn't it been done already? But I am hearing good things, like Virginia Tech is going to wait, and they're going to try to wait as much as possible. But also James Franklin is going to wait. Like, I keep hearing he's waiting for Florida State to open, which is why for the rest of the year, I am the biggest Florida State fan there is. Do not fire Mike Norvell. Give him one more year. That man deserved to be in the playoffs 2 years ago. Do not fire that man. But to Dinker's point, he is tailor-made for that area. He dominates the DMV, the Mid-Atlantic, Virginia recruiting area from Virginia all the way up to New Jersey. He dominates that area in recruiting. And Virginia Tech, that's where we pull a lot of our best talent. Historically, we go get our best players from that area. James Franklin is tailor-made for Virginia Tech. I don't trust us to get it done. Like this administration has given me no faith to trust them whatsoever. So I'm just holding out hope that they are going to make a good decision. No, I think that's it though. Dinker, Big Dog, we very much appreciate you guys joining us in the chat. If you have been watching and listening this whole time, thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend about the Trash Talk Tailgate today. Like, I'm going to give you guys homework over the weekend. Tell a friend about the Trash Talk Tailgate. Jack Lee, thank you so much for filling in for Riley today. We will be back Sunday morning, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time to talk all things college football, to preview the NFL. Enjoy your football weekend.